Hello, as always this is Scott and I'm bringing you another winning chess strategy video. Last video we took a look at weak squares and how to exploit those weak squares and get a brilliant knight outpost. In this video we will take a look at how to create a beautiful knight outpost on d5 in the Sicilian, which is a common theme usually. Basically with that you can control the game with a superior minor piece. Here we have Isaac Boslowski playing white, and he must figure out a plan to make knight to d5 an option. Knight to d5 prevents the freeing move d5 by black and allows the knight to be very active and put pressure on black's position. So for white the idea is to eliminate the defenders of d5 and land his knight there. So with white to play, you can pause the video and try to figure out if it is possible or how white can accomplish the task of landing his knight on d5. So like I was saying, white has two objectives in mind. Prevent the d5 freeing move, which after there's captures, then this bishop becomes a real pain on this long diagonal, and you open up the game for black. It's not what white wants to do. He wants to keep his king safe and keep this bishop on g7 locked in. Secondly, he wants to move this knight, get it to d5. First, he has to eliminate these two defenders. So, what does white play? If you chose the move knight c7, that's actually a pretty good move, forking rook and bishop, and you can follow up maybe with bishop b5. And that's one route. However, the plan here is to land your knight on d5, and most likely you'll be ending up giving up your knight in exchange for a good position still, but we're here to make plans of a knight outpost. So what about something like knight takes d6 trying to win a pawn? Well, that actually fails, and after a6 preventing bishop coming to b5, after bishop b6 hitting the rook, we have rook d7, and the knight is actually pinned to the queen. And if the queen moves, then actually the knight is pinned to the rook, and checkmate is threatened. So if the knight moves, basically there's rook takes rook and checkmate, because this bishop is covering a2. So trying to win a pawn isn't a good in this position. Actually, c4 was the move played by white. And the idea is to actually give up a pawn, so bishop takes, and then bishop recaptures, and you eliminate one defender from this d5 square. So black takes, knight c3, gaining a tempo on the queen and looking to come to d5 next move that the knight moves. We have queen b3, bishop takes c4, and queen takes c4. So one defender's gone from the d5 square, and we just have this knight left. So if you want to pause the video and figure out how to remove this knight from f6, then go ahead. Okay, the move chosen was bishop g5, pitting the knight to the rook, so this knight cannot run away. An alternative to bishop g5 would have been maybe g4, trying this some kingside pawn advances, but ultimately you probably won't be able to get that knight to d5, at least as easy as what happened in the game. So we have bishop g5, and we have queen e6, bishop takes, queen takes, and all the defenders of this d5 square are eliminated. And this bishop is still locked in, so now is the time to move in the knight to a very comfy home. So now white plays knight d5, and it attacks the queen and controls a bunch of squares in black's position. So this prevents black from maybe doubling his rooks on the c file and putting pressure. And it actually prevents the move d5, which keeps this bishop locked in. And it really limits black's options here. Now black plays queen h4 to try to prevent these pawns from being advanced. Oops. And we'll see that doesn't work because white will move his queen over here to, I think, e2 and then f1, and just start pushing his pawns. And let's kind of flip through the end of the game here and see how it ends. Okay, we have the kingside pawn storm trying to break open black's position. And we have a nice little rook move hitting the queen. And we have this little move, and this is where the game ends because black resigned. And he cannot take this rook because we would just have knight f6, and that would be forking these two squares, and white would win the queen. So that's how the game ended. But in summary, basically creating this knight outpost, first you eliminate one defender, the bishop, then you go on to trade your bishop for the knight and eliminate the second defender and get a nice strong knight outpost on d5 and cramp black's position. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Scott again, and I'll be making more videos shortly. Thank you.